Good day, everyone. Alright, I've really done it this time. I'm in Paris. And the reason I say I've really done it this time is because, well, one of the first places I came here when I first came to Paris was right here. I'm at the top of, of Montmartre, which is, kind of a hill. Well, Mont, I guess, means mountain in French. Montmartre isn't really much of a mountain, it's more like a hill. At the top of it you'll find this nice looking sort of church. This is the Basilica of Sacré-Cœur. Sacré-Cœur being French for Sacred Heart. And the building itself is quite impressive. But perhaps more notable than the church at this point is the fact that this is actually the highest point in Paris. I am at the tallest point in the city of Paris, which affords me and the rest of us this view of the city. Now, obviously, this is a pretty big city. Paris is one of the largest cities in Europe. And trying to capture everything myself within a admittedly limited space of time is probably quite a overambitious proposition. But let me give you a quick overview of what's here. One thing that stands out is that tall tower. That's the what is it? That's the Montparnasse Tower, which is one of the tallest buildings in Paris. It's about the same height as the Eiffel Tower. I believe that dome that you see there, I've been told that's La Sorbonne, which is the University of Paris, basically. I could be wrong. And that building there, which looks like it has a scaffolded exterior with a blue roof, that is sort of a community center. It's basically, it contains the Museum of Modern Art, the Paris Museum of Modern Art, but it's also some other stuff. There's this guy here who thinks he's Bono, and there are other performers down there. It becomes readily apparent that this is quite a that this is obviously a rather popular spot for tourists, given that it is the highest point in the city and thus gives a pretty decent view, as you've just seen. So, I said a while ago that I wasn't going to do I said I wasn't going to do any more travel videos. I came here to Paris just on a lark because I have a friend here who I'm staying with, and I thought, I'm just not going to feel good about it if I don't at least take something, at least some kind of video to show that I was there. So I'm not really going to be able to capture the fullness of the city of Paris, and I'm really not going to try to. I mean, I'm here for about a week, and I'm not going to be able to capture everything that Paris has to show in a week. So you've probably noticed that what I usually tend to do when I'm on these trips is I do a mix of the major tourist landmarks and just random stuff that I find. So I've got a list of some of the basic stuff that I want to see. Of course, there's the Eiffel Tower. That's the most obvious. Probably next most obvious is the Louvre, which is, that huge museum in central Paris, which is huge. It's one of the largest art museums in the world, I believe. On a comparable, it may be the largest, actually. I'm not sure if it's the largest, but at least it's one of the largest for sure. It's often compared to the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, or probably vice versa. Does this graffiti mean anything? I can't make anything out here. Excuse me. So anyhow, it's a nice little map. Can't really make out anything particularly notable here, but anyway. So I'm just gonna walk around. I'm basically just gonna do a lot of walking around Paris. I'm just gonna try to see what I can see. This video is probably not going to be very cohesive or coherent. It's certainly not going to be anything close to being able to capture, like I said, everything that there is in Paris. But it's just, you know, my own little personal snapshot of slice of life in Paris. It's actually a nice day today, which is nice. Like I said, I'm here for about a week, and the forecast predicts rain for pretty much the entire week. Unfortunately, Paris is not showing her best colors or her best weather for me and for us on this trip. But today it's actually, I actually caught a nice break. It's actually quite nice at this moment, but that probably won't be the case in all the videos, but oh well. Anyhow, so yeah, top of Montmartre. Big overview of Paris, Basilica of Sacré-Cœur, and I guess that's a pretty good start. Let's see what else we can see in Gay Paris. Okay, I'm gonna guess this structure needs no introduction. It's a little larger than I can actually fit into the camera conveniently all at once, at least from this distance, because I'm only about you know, maybe 100 meters or so from the base of it. But yeah, this is obviously the Eiffel Tower, or the Tour Eiffel as it is in Francais. That back there is the Seine River. Well, you can't really see the river because it's in a canal, but it's, you know, behind all this stuff like this carousel and stuff that they have here. They have the police here keeping an eye on things, which I guess makes sense since this is basically one of the world's most recognizable landmarks, and I suppose there is a possibility for stuff to happen here, as it tends to happen in location, you know, in culturally significant or symbolic locations such as this. So, the tower looks pretty impressive from a distance, and actually, hold on, let me also check out these names. You can see there are the names of several famous or somehow significant people engraved in the or emblackened or whatever on the side of the tower. And I think that's on all four sides of the tower. From a distance, the tower is quite impressive and it looks quite nice. I mean, it's very, in a way, it's very simple. I mean, it just has, you know, it's not enormously imaginative in its architecture, but at least, you know, it's pleasant looking. But as you get really close to it, as you get right up to it, and you know, get a close-up look at it, it's a little bit, I'm sorry, I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade, and I hope that nobody feels like I'm being a downer, but it's just a little bit underwhelming to me, because, you know, when you zoom right into it, it's basically just a huge mesh of steel trusses. And that's basically all it is. It's kind of, it's almost like the tower is a human being, because, you know, if you get right into it and look at all the guts and innards and squishy bits inside of it, it's kind of repulsive, actually, in a way. But if you back out, you know, if you view it from a little distance, it's really beautiful. It's a marvel of design from a distance. But then once you get right inside it, it's kind of like, ugh, it's kind of a little bit of a turnoff. But yeah, the tower, of course, rests on 4 pillars. I'm going to guess that pilier is pillar in French. So, you know, the 4 pillars are all marked. This is the pilier nord, obviously north. There's one over there which is behind all this construction stuff, but they're all, you know, the 4 pillars are marked with the 4 cardinal compass directions. Let's see, that one is the pillar west, or ouest. That one I can see is the south pillar, and so by process of elimination that would probably mean that that's the pilier est, or east. And so that's it. You know, there's basically, I think most of the four pillars have staircases that you can walk up. You can see there are people, there are diligent people walking up the staircases. They're a little hard to see because they're kind of mostly concealed by the fencing and meshwork around them. But yeah, there are staircases. There are also elevators to carry you up if you're, you know, not particularly inclined to walk up all those stairs, which is understandable. And of course, there are the usual hot dog stands and things like that. Admission to the tower is probably not free, which is not surprising. There are people walking in there, people walking inside Le Tour. Is it Le Tour or La Tour? I don't know. I don't really know the genders of French nouns, unfortunately. And here is Monsieur Eiffel. I have to confess I have absolutely no idea who Eiffel is. It's obviously his bust, and this is obviously a tower named after him. I'm going to assume he was somebody significant. I'm going to assume he wasn't, you know, just a janitor. I have no idea what he did, whether he was a politician or a military commander or somebody like that. I have no idea. I suppose he might also have been a great composer or painter or something like that, but that's not really the French kind of thing to do. Here's a very nice park with a bunch of ducks and also a bunch of people feeding the ducks. I think also, are those white things, are those geese, or are those also ducks? I don't know. I'm not even sure. I don't recognize birds very well. You can see there's a very nice little park here. I'm going to guess that Eiffel was not an artist, like a composer, because that's not really... The French seem to like to name their streets and their structures after either politicians or military generals. It's more like in Germany or Russia, you would definitely see a lot of things named after poets and painters and composers and musicians and writers, but not here, not so much. So anyway, yeah, the Tour Eiffel. I've probably spent enough time on this because I didn't want to spend too much time on the touristy bits, although I probably will anyhow, but yeah. Oh, and here's the Société d'exploitation de la Tour Eiffel. A lot of these languages, you know, are pretty self-translating. I mean, that's obviously French, but you can obviously tell it means the Society for the Exploitation of the Eiffel Tower. You don't really need a translator to tell you that. These ducks appear to be earnestly and purposefully making their way towards me, and the idea that I must be harboring some food for them. I regret that I have no no food for you. I do have a quack for you, though. Quack! I regret that I have only one quack for my country. Okay, I have to confess this was pretty unexpected. I wasn't surprised to see police here. I am surprised to see soldiers with assault rifles. I don't know if this is a usual thing here, if these guys are usually stationed here, or if today is special, like if they had some special event going on that they expected somebody to pull some shenanigans at. But yeah, these guys are obviously not fooling around. These guys are obviously not just playing around. These guys, what is that? That's not a, I don't know. I'm not good with guns. I don't recognize exactly what that guy's carrying. But yeah, they are obviously toting berets and not just common police weapons. So yeah, you don't want to screw around with those guys. Obviously they take security pretty seriously here. I guess I can't really blame them. Here we have a view over the Seine River, which is the river that cuts through Paris twice, actually. This is the south. This is the south pass of the Seine, which is where most of the famous stuff is. And here's the Eiffel Tower from the Seine, a little bit farther away, a little farther out, a little more zoomed out view. So right now I'm looking north. That way is north along the river. There are some nice looking towers and things up there. To the west is a rather grand looking little palace, which I'm afraid I can't give any information on other than that I believe it's called Trocadero or Trocadero or whatever you call it, something like that. Sorry, the view is a little bit spoiled by that Hyundai ad, but and actually there are several other Hyundai ads dotting the way up there, but it's some kind of palace about something. I don't know what that text says because it's in French. Yeah, actually a lot of the it's kind of funny. Most of the signs here are in French only, which I guess is a stereotypically French thing to do. Most of these types of tourist signs in like Germany, for example, in Germany the signs are obviously in German, English, French, and Russian. Here, no, you just get French, nothing else. If you don't speak French, too bad. I guess that's understandable. Here's a view looking south along the Seine towards southern Paris. Kind of nice. But yeah, this is where most of the, here in this along this part of the river is where most of the famous stuff is. And right across the street, like literally right across the street from the tower here on the southeast side, there's this really nice park actually. It's you can see it's a fairly extensive park. Very nice, nicely landscaped. It looks like you're not supposed to walk on the grass in this central area because it's fenced off like this. So I guess you're just supposed to walk along those paths. But you know, it's a park. It's nice. I think on the far end of the park there's another nice looking structure. I think that's the military school. At least it's in the right place to be the military school, but I'm not sure about that. I'll try to check it out. So I'm just a little bit confused. I'm not sure exactly what this structure is. I believe it's actually the backside of the military school, or École Militaire, because there's also, around the backside there's also apparently a church, like the Church of St. Louis. So that's probably what this is right here. There's also, you know, some statue of a guy on a horse holding a tree branch or something like that. I guess his name is Joffre. But anyway, so I walked across that garden. So here you have the Eiffel Tower from a little farther away. There are all these pillars and glass panels with different types of foreign writing on them. One or two of them appear to be smashed, although it's kind of hard to tell from here. But this is the Eiffel Tower from, you know, a little farther away. And they have these two nice fountains here. For some reason, that fountain goes a lot higher than the other one. You can see that's just a little baby fountain almost. It just goes to, you know, about the height of a person. Whereas this one spews quite a bit higher. I don't know why. I don't know if that's intentional or just maybe a failure of the plumbing around here. I'm not sure. Oh, I just realized these. If you look at the signs above the entrances on this building, they have different names. Like this one is obviously the cavalry, cavalerie, and on the other side there is one that looks like artillery. Oui, artillerie. Okay, so yeah, so this is the military school, and I guess it has different, it has or had different departments like cavalry and artillery. I guess that makes sense. I don't know if it actually still functions as a military school today. It's probably mostly just a tourist landmark because of its nice architecture and history. But, oh well. I'm gonna just take a walk around it. Yeah, this is the side of the École Militaire, the military school, from the south side. It ain't really much to look at from the side here. I think around the other end, on the kind of southeast corner, it'll probably be a little bit more impressive than this. But yeah, this just looks like any boring sort of European building. So let's see what it looks like on the other end. Okay, as I expected, the École Militaire looks considerably more impressive from the front side. I guess this is supposed to be the tourist side. This is the right side to view it from. Although maybe not. I mean, you know, the other side is where the Eiffel Tower is back there, so I guess it's pretty cool as well. But yeah, big stately building, kind of a tourist landmark. Nice architecture. I mean, these side buildings look like regular barracks or something. They're not really too special, but anyhow. Back there you have the palace, or whatever it is, Invalides, which I'm not sure exactly of the historical significance of that, but that's also kind of important. Although it's basically just a big golden dome or cupola or whatever, right? Right across the street, just across the street here from the École Militaire, you have this. This is the world headquarters of UNESCO. Let me just walk a bit so I can catch the sign, since it's behind a tree. There we go, there it is. Yeah, there it is. UNESCO, that is the United Nations, what does that stand for? UNESCO, it's the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. There you go, that's it, that's what that stands for. They have a nice little, let me just walk over there because they have a nice, they have a nice little globe wireframe structure in their backyard. So this is obviously the front entrance to UNESCO. This is the Fin d'interdiction de stationnaire, always a great tourist landmark. Always want to go and see the end of the interdiction against stationment. And it's still kind of boxed in by all these trees and pillars. I'm not sure if these pillars are light posts or if they're just pillars that people felt like sticking in the ground, but yeah, behind, this is probably the best place to film it from, right here. So yeah, behind all these trees and stuff, there's this sort of wireframe globe, and at its center, right at the center, there appears to be some sort of a ball of some certain significance. I'm not sure what, but yeah, UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. I guess they're kind of significant. I think they have some importance because they designate historical landmarks. I wonder how many historic landmarks they've designated here in Paris alone. But yeah, this is their headquarters here in Paris, just south of the École Militaire. I'm here in a very small little park featuring a statue of, sorry, probably doesn't show up very well against the sky, of Hubert Lode. I don't know what a Marechal is, but he is or was a Marechal of France. There are some further dates noted on this side of the pillar commemorating him, and some other text here. On this side there is a quote, which I assume is from the same person depicted in the statue, stating that the patriotism of Lorraine is inseparable from the patriotism of France, or French patriotism. I don't know what Lorraine is. I think I'm probably supposed to know what Lorraine is. It's probably historically significant, but I'm so ignorant of history that I have no idea what Lorraine is. So, kudos to you, statuified man, who made a quote on patriotism, which is commemorated here, which I don't know what it's about. Yeah, here we go. Here we have the National Institution of the Invalides. And there's that golden cupola. Well, it's mostly behind this tree, but it's there. Don't ask me what it is. I couldn't tell you, sorry. But that's what it is. It's the Invalides. This is the Rodin Museum. Museum of Auguste Rodin. Rodin being, of course, the basically the only sculptor who really matters, by far the world's most famous sculptor. He did the Thinker, which you can see there, and as well as several others. So yeah, the Rodin Museum. Why not? So here we have, in Bonpland à Paris, someone has thought to wonder, Jacques Chirac ou un Gaufret? You folks can draw your own conclusions to that. Here's another thing which Paris is kind of famous for, these little stands where they sell postcards and books and things like that. I'm on the banks. I'm on the quay overlooking the River Seine. The river is just behind this this wall, and you know they have these green boxes where they store their wares in. There's another one here. You know, they sell postcards, mostly postcards, books, magazines, stuff like that. Sometimes you can find some pretty interesting stuff here. It's kind of a mixed bag, obviously, but oh, here they have some of the funny stuff like that, and this. It's rather amusing. But yeah, this is another sort of Paris tradition where you can find random old books and things like that in these little stalls here. Here we have a very nice, I don't know what you'd call it, it's kind of a memorial or something to Fontaine Saint-Michel. Pretty awesome. Just north of here, that is the way to Notre Dame, the Notre Dame Cathedral, which I'm going to check out in a bit. Also notable is this bookstore here, Guibert Jeune. I believe this is actually a chain. I think this is not the only location for Guibert Jeune. I think it's actually a chain of bookstores that operates in Paris, and maybe the rest of France as well. But this is one of the more notable bookstores around here. This place is crazy. It's actually sometimes known as the book jungle because the books are just piled on top of each other. I don't know, I can sort of get a shot inside a little bit. I can sort of, well, you can't really see inside very well, but the books in there are just packed. There's like hardly room to move around. The place is just crammed with as many books as they could have put in there. So it's kind of chaotic, kind of a lot of books, but it's definitely notable. And it goes, wow, it just keeps going. There's that one there, and then farther down that way there's another one there. So yeah. So, yeah, Guibert Jeune is one of the premier bookstores here in Paris. If you're in Paris and you're into bookstores, you should check it out. It is a noteworthy bookstore, definitely. Okay, so here I am. Yeah, so there are two primary islands in Paris in the River Seine. One is the Île de la Cité, which is the one I'm on right now, which literally just means the island of the city. That's the larger and generally more significant of the two. Then a little east of here is the Île Saint-Louis. But yeah, here on the Île de la Cité, one of the probably the most significant tourist landmark is this. This is the famous Cathedral of Notre Dame. I don't really know what else to say about it other than that it is a famous church. What else can be said, truly? And yeah, there are a lot of people here, obviously. A nice little park out front. Looks like these people are getting married. I guess this is a popular place to get married as well. So here you go, Notre Dame. Here's an interesting little building. Here's a somewhat less known Paris landmark. This building is apparently the Hôtel de Seine. Sens, something like it's spelled S-E-N-S, but I think the latter S is silent, so I think it's just Hôtel de Seine. It's obviously got a sort of medieval architecture thing happening here. It's the first building here on the Rue de Figure, and there's a little placard there on the history of it, which is entirely in French. But yeah, pretty cool medieval architecture happening here. I like these. I don't even know what they're called. These circular outcroppings. Are they bastions or are they minarets? I have no idea what you call them. I'm so bad at architecture. Okay, so I'm standing in front of the Louvre, which is both a palace and a museum. It's basically it's probably the second most important tourist landmark in Paris after the Eiffel Tower. Right here in front of the Louvre, you have a nice view of this axis. So this is the Tuileries Garden, or whatever it's called, which used to have a palace here, but the palace was destroyed something like 200 years ago, and so the ground that it was on was just left to be a garden with no real structures on it. There is this archway. And the thing about the archway is that it lets you, if you look through it, you can see that, you see there's that obelisk a little bit farther on. And the obelisk is nicely lined up with the, that archway way in the background there, which you can hardly see, is the Arc de Triomphe. And beyond that, way beyond that, oh great, now that bus is covering it up, but oh, there's, yeah, okay. So way beyond the Arc de Triomphe, you can see some tall towers there. That's Le Défense, which is basically Paris's new business district. That's like the sort of the Wall Street of Paris, if you will, where the tall, important business buildings are. So yeah, this street basically, this is actually the Champs-Élysées, or at least part of it is the street that I'm looking at. If you go through the archway that's closest to me, to the camera, and walk towards the other archway, the Arc de Triomphe, that street is the famous Champs-Élysées, which is basically, it's a famous street, but it's basically just another kind of tourist drag. It's basically a bunch of restaurants and fancy, expensive clothing boutiques and places like that. It's not really, it's not so much rich in culture as just rich in capitalism, but it's a nice little stroll. It's a nice looking street to walk down. But yeah, this is the Louvre. The Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. If you haven't seen the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower, you really haven't seen Paris. So this is significant, yeah. Okay, here we are. So we are in the, I guess you could say the courtyard of Le Louvre. That's not a hedge maze in the middle there, is it?
I don't think so. It's
just hedges, but not a maze.
Yeah, no.
And that's obviously not the Arc de Triomphe, but it's some kind of arc of something. The Arc de Défaite, maybe.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, some kind of arc marking the western exit from the Louvre. And here's the courtyard. Now, you were telling me about this glass pyramid. It was put up by the French president in the 1980s?
In the 80s, yeah. This project was given to one famous architect, the name of whom I've forgotten. And of course, there was a lot of controversy around it.
Controversy, yeah.
But I think yeah, President Mitterrand in the 80s, he really wanted to leave a mark in history. So I thought this would be an appropriate way to do it. So this is one of the landmarks, which were one of his signatures. And the pyramid actually gives you access to the Louvre, and I think there might be a metro station under.
Oh, I see. So if you walk through that little walkway there, that takes you inside the Louvre.
That's one possible entrance, yeah.
Okay. One of several. I'm sure that people could walk inside the Louvre before the 1980s.
And of course, the pyramid echoes to the obelisk we've seen earlier, which we can't see from here, but it's in the same axis as the Arc and the Tuileries Garden, which is here.
Oh, the central axis of
basically of Paris, because this line between the pyramid, this arc, the obelisk, the Arc of Triumph,
yeah,
is just one same perspective.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. So it's one line. If you stand in La Défense at the end, you can look all the way down the Champs-Élysées. And
so the future is westwards. You have the past with the pyramid and the obelisk. And then you go forward in history all the way to La Défense, which is obviously the future and the business center, etc.
Yeah, the sort of modern center of business and commerce and all that. Yeah, interesting. So this is it. This is sort of the eastern terminus. This is the Louvre, where history comes to Louvreize itself. C'est bien. Oui, très bien. Just curious, do you know the significance of this statue of the horse, or the guy on the horse?
We'll have to take a closer look at this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it's not Napoleon.
No. Not with this type of outfit.
Yeah. So here you can see, if you look through this archway, if you look way through the archway, so there's the obelisk back there. Well, now this bus is blocking it. That's okay, I've already sentenced the bus driver to death. So there's the obelisk, that's that Egyptian structure there, and you can see it also gives you a view through to the Arc de Triomphe way in the background. Perspective here is kind of screwy, I think, because my camera's probably going to make it look like they're close, but actually the Arc de Triomphe is way back there, it's way past that obelisk, and then beyond that is La Défense, the business district. So you can kind of see it from here. Actually, I don't know how well my camera will pick it up, unfortunately, but it's from here it looks fairly impressive because you can see things that are far away pretty clearly, and they're all on the same axis, that same sort of historic axis of Paris. Okay, so I'm here now west of that archway, so a little bit further west of the Louvre. From here you get probably a little bit better view over the these Tuileries gardens. Pretty nice. There are these guys selling their little Eiffel Tower keychains or whatever they are all over Paris. You see them all over Paris. It's kind of they're kind of ubiquitous. This is also actually probably a better place to look down that axis because you can see the whoa, let me stabilize my hand a little bit there. So you can see way down the Champs-Élysées, that street, basically those two lanes of traffic that we're looking at way out in the distance there, that is the Champs-Élysées. And that again, of course, is that obelisk, that Egyptian obelisk. And the archway in the background there is the Arc de Triomphe, and those tall buildings back there are La Défense. But yeah, that's an extreme far out view of the Champs-Élysées. Sorry, my hands are so shaky. I don't have a tripod or anything like that, but you get the idea. So I'm here now at the west side of the Tuileries garden. I walked across the garden, and I'm up here on one of these nice little vantage points where you can look out over the city. This is a bit of a closer view at that obelisk. This, I believe, is called the Obelisk of Luxor. I guess it came from Luxor in Egypt, I'm guessing. It's just a guess on my part, what do I know, but so yeah, there's that. There's obviously the Eiffel Tower over there. That is some kind of fountain. I don't think I can say much more about it than that. It kind of speaks for itself. Oh, there's another fountain, just in case one wasn't enough. There are some chairs here for sitting on because, you know, people like to sit sometimes. And it's kind of hard to see because it's behind some trees, but back there you can still see the it isn't really a great spot for looking at it because this line of trees is in the way, but back there is the to the left of this kind of passageway is the Arc de Triomphe. isn't really a great place for looking at it, though, unfortunately. But yeah, that is the Champs-Élysées. So there you go. I don't think I'm going to do a whole video of me walking down the Champs-Élysées just because, honestly, there's really not much there. Here on the east side, the east part of the Champs-Élysées, it's really just a lot of gardens, just like this. There's more, just more trees and gardens and parks. And then on the west end, as you get closer to the Arc de Triomphe, there's just a bunch of shops. Just a bunch of touristy kind of places, not really very, not particularly beautiful or interesting. But yeah, here it's nice. This is actually very, very nice. I like this garden quite a lot. It's actually very, very pleasant to walk through. Okay, it's obviously not Napoleon. That was a stupid guess of me to even make. It's Louis le 14th. Louis le 14e?
Louis XIV.
Ah, Louis XIV.
The man thanks to whom the Louvre was created.
Right, he built the Louvre, okay. I was just mentioning a more modern sort of cynical analyst might mark this pyramid as quite phallic because you have this, you know, this mighty central structure and then you have two kind of supporting structures to the side. I'm sure that's the Freudian interpretation, but we can just say it's a pyramid, why not?
So that's one of the entrances.
Yeah, so this here on the side of the pyramid is an entrance into the Louvre. That'll take you down there. There's like an entryway down there, and here's some nice little fountains, which sort of actually fountains are also phallic, are they not?
Undoubtedly.
Yes. Okay. So just as an addendum, there are several pavillons. This is the pavillon Richelieu.
And Miss Cardinal.
Une cardinale, oui, dans le church. Or, wait, not, what is church in French?
Église.
Ah, église, okay. So here you have all these famous people with their names recorded on their bases. I'm not going to be able to cite who all these people are. Also, apparently some of them were under construction or repair, I guess.
You have La Bruyère, who is a poet.
Okay.
Turgot, politician. On the other side, we have Molière and all these famous figures of French literature and history.
Okay. Yeah, we saw Rousseau,
Rousseau as well, yeah.
Back there. Yeah, I think this one is Rousseau, if I'm not mistaken. Well, his name is covered up by the little pyramid, but. And on the far end back there, there's the Pavillon Sully, Sully, and then there's another one over there.
It's Denon.
Ah, Denon, okay. Here, so they have a couple of placards giving some dates. History buffs might not like dates, but that's okay because they're written down here for your reference. So in 1541, François commence le Louvre, meaning they
starts the construction.
Right, they started they started the building of the Louvre. In 1564, Catherine de Médicis commence the Tuileries, which is the garden behind us, which used to have a palace, which I believe burned down or was destroyed or something like that.
It has a museum now. It's called the Musée du Jeu de Paume.
Okay, interesting. And unfortunately, for some reason, my camera's not picking up the one on the right very well because of the way it's colored or something like that. But
basically, what it says is 3 centuries later, that is in 1852, Napoleon made the junction between the Louvre and the garden of the Tuileries.
Right, réunit les Tuileries au Louvre. Oui. Okay. And this over here was the Pavillon. I can barely read that actually.
Yeah, neither can I.
Daru, I think.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Looks like my camera's able to zoom in on it fairly well, so it looks like Daru. I'm not sure if that's right, but now this woman standing on this box or whatever, is she? Oh, somebody's taking her photo. I thought she was some kind of... For a moment I thought she was some kind of political campaigner who was decrying the loss of Sarkozy.
She's creating some perspective effect with her hand on the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
A very touristy thing.
Yeah. At first I thought, oh, this is a place where protesters come to talk about the French politics, but I guess that's just not the case. Here we have another nice little courtyard, which is a little less busy than the other one. It's also kind of under construction, at least while that part of it is.
It's called the Cour Carrée, which is literally the square-shaped courtyard.
Okay. I guess that's a pretty accurate description. I mean, I don't actually have a carpenter's triangle here to measure the squarishness of it with, but I think it's probably, subjectively, it seems pretty squarish.
So from what I understand, the architecture is a bit more modern here. These shapes, less sophisticated, you know?
Yeah. More minimalist, I guess. Okay. I'm assuming that these orange structures here are probably the most modern of all.
You bet.
Okay, so here's another sort of... They must have really liked this idea of making these archways so you can look through and sort of have this perspective into something else. So what's this building that we're looking at now? This is
the Mazarin library.
Okay.
The library of Mazarin.
Okay.
And it's linked to us by the Pont des Arts, the Bridge of Arts, which is a very lively bridge. People like to gather here in the summer and have a picnic and play music and so on.
Okay. And that, of course, is the French flag. Do French people ever complain that their flag has the same colors as the American one?
Well, that's I hadn't quite thought about it.
Because, you know, they call the American flag the red, white, and blue.
The Spangled Banner.
Well, yeah, but they also, yeah, I'm just jokingly noting that they have the same colors.
Yeah, we might want to go on this bridge.
Okay.
So
Sure.
Behind this building is the famous part of Paris called Saint-Germain.
Saint-Germain?
Where all the intellectuals used to gather after the Second World War and reinvent the world, as we say in French, rethink the world.
Interesting. Do they still gather there?
Yeah, in a way, yes, in a way.
So now this is where people smoke pot and...
I wouldn't try that.
Nah.
Music